What's up, y'all? My name is Tim Ream. I'm here today on the 75th day of 75 Hard. So I've successfully got all the way through the program. I started out about 178 pounds. Right now I'm down to 160, so I dropped 18 pounds, almost 19 pounds. It's also the spring cut, so that has been good. I'm going to continue to drop some more weight, get more ripped. I want to just get straight up peeled, so definitely going to go probably at least another month and a half, probably, maybe 2 months. That being said, we're going to be doing chest today. I'm going to put calves at the end, and if the workout doesn't stretch 45 minutes, I'll throw some forearms in there. One variation I am going to do for chest today is just going to be very paused movements at the end, good flex and squeeze, and then all the way at the end, like at the bottom of the movement in the stretch position, I'm going to just pause there too. So I'm just going to really take my time with these movements, going based on feel on these first couple exercises that I do for chest. As far as warm-up sets go, I've got 5 different exercises planned. And yeah, we're going to go over here and start with standing cable flies, or kind of a press movement for the top of the chest there. That being said, we're going to get right into it. And yeah, man. Put something on. I've been listening to this guy. His name's Bishoy Kella for like probably 4 days. He had like a really good 75 hard testimonial. Also 163 pounds like over like a couple years. The dude like really had a good transformation, and dude, I've just been listening to this video, just super inspirational. So that's what we're going to be listening to today. It's on Andy Frisella's channel. He's the one who started the 75 hard program. Has me considering going back on 75 hard and going about it a little bit different this time. But that being said, that's who we're going to be listening to today.
Now, my mission is to show you it's awesome. I'm just a regular dude, living a regular life.
And not really concerned with the weight that we're going to be pushing. I'm more focused on the stretch and the squeeze and just getting the most out of the movement. So I'm going to use a little bit lighter weights today and just really try to get the most out of each rep and all that shit. So
it was incredibly impactful for me. In fact, if you follow me on social media, you know that like when I first saw it, it made me
and it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I considered doing this on the on a bench where my back is just stable, but I'm gonna, I don't know, didn't think too hard about it because I'm obviously doing it this way. But
you know, I do this for a living. I see people change their lives. And very fortunate to see it all the time. Very, very rarely at this point do I see a transformation that affects me in a way that feels it. Because I identified with it personally so much. And bro, I know what that battle's about. I know how fucking hard that is. I know how hard it is to live that other life. And dude, just total respect for what you've done.
Appreciate you.
Yeah,
that was a lot.
You're gonna change a lot of people's lives with that work. I mean, a lot. And I don't know that you actually understand how many and how impactful what you've done is gonna be. But it's fucking amazing. It's an honor to have you.
Bro, it's an honor to be here, man. What you guys have built is actually incredible. Like, just walking around in this facility.
it's kind of weird how just little variations of certain movements can just make all the difference. Just those pauses, and especially that deep stretch, I feel like at the end really just spreads out the top of that chest. And I always feel like in that stretch position is where you actually start to introduce a lot of that burn. Oh, okay. And just kind of pyramid weight up as we go up in these warm-up sets.
Sorry, from 0 to 16 years old, that was the factor. That was the fun factor. So I wasn't getting picked on or anything like that. Dude, I had a great childhood, but at 16...
Kind of weird. Well, I've had something on my mind, and it's like people see the finished product of people that are successful and just think that the product came that way. But the product didn't come that way. It was actually built over time.
And then, bro,
And I've been thinking a lot about how you actually have to build a life. You have to build a relationship. You have to build your finances. And if you're building something, then you got to put it together piece by piece. And I've got to build the ideal body. It comes one thing at a time. You don't just work on all of it. Like you find a weak point and you strengthen that, and then you find another weak point and you strengthen that, and then eventually you've got a well-rounded physique. But that goes with all your relationships, all of your finances, like everything in life, you know? So I'm really getting into this concept here that it's just a piece by piece thing rather than I thought like people just had it and were endowed with it, and I wasn't, but I'm starting to realize that it's just you just got to piece the whole thing together. All right.
Full 180 the opposite direction.
Bro, that's very similar to me too.
It's wild, man. Yeah, it's just doing that, and then also getting a girlfriend was part of the issue because the first weight loss I did was because to try to get girls, right? And so once I got the girlfriend, once I had the business, started making money, I felt like I made it. I didn't need to do the things that got me to that place. I didn't need to continue doing that anymore. And so, bro, one workout, I'd skip a workout to kind of work on my business. And like just rationalize, like, yo, it's okay, one day you need to get this done, you need to get this done. It just snowballed. When I was 350 pounds, bro, life got fucked. Like at 350 pounds, I was like avoiding mirrors. I'd hop out of the shower, put my shirt on before I popped in front of the mirror just to fix my hair. Like, that's how bad it was. I was thinking,
I heard this
5-minute walks away.
thing on a Robert De Niro movie, and he basically said that you need to figure out what you want in your life and then take the next 25 years getting it piece by piece. I don't know, for some reason it just hit home with me. Ever since then, I've kind of had it in my mind. Well, I've been, kind of building the life that I want. It just makes a lot of sense, man. Because there's always like 1,000 things to work on. And this is another aspect to it too. It's like, especially if you're in the personal development space, there's always like 1,000 different things you can be working on. Oh, I need to do this, this, and this. But I've found there's only like 1 or 2 things that are literally in between you and the thing that you want, and that's what you got to work on. There's like a bottleneck. And it's just kind of being okay with letting all that other shit exist and just working on the most pressing issues. And it's just like, oh, okay, I need to work on my leadership skills right now. I need to work on my communication skills. That's what's immediate. All the other 1,000 things can wait. This is actually the thing that's holding me up from making progress. So it's just like starting to just really lean into those things, those weaknesses that are right in between me and the thing that I actually fucking want. Keep bumping up weight here.
Yeah, literally every single day. I work from home. We didn't have an office. We don't have an office. We just work from home. So I was in bed most of the day, just crushing work on my laptop while eating food. And every meal was like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Like,
yeah, you were ordering all the appetizers, and I could never shift to the point where I could keep it off. Like it was always like when I finished, and this is why I get so pissed off when I see people finish 75 hard and go right back to their old shit. Like, oh, I'm celebrating with a cake and a bottle of whiskey. It's like, bro, you just spent 75 days working to get away from that shit that made you fucking miserable to go right back to it. And like, because I could never conquer that. I could never conquer the, once I got into shape, now it's time to party mindset, right? And it would just lead me right back to the same thing over and over and over again. And then I did, like you did, I got wrapped up in business and I put on 100 fucking pounds in like a year. Yeah, gas station food. You know what I'm saying?
And another thing with that is, like whenever I first got out of rehab, like, dude, I was overweight, but I had to work on my finances. Like that was the most pressing issue. Then it got to the point where it's like, okay, I got my finances kind of squared away. Not where I want to be, but now I'm at least, I've got my head above water and I've got some cushion there. Okay, let's start working on my health. Overweight, joints hurt, came off of back surgery, so you know, looking back on all these videos, I see all of those weak points that I've got personally, but I've had to address the most pressing issue first. So within like 2 or 3 years, I should be very well rounded, and had to work on my joints, strengthening my core, losing weight. Okay, now I can start actually focusing on different body parts that I want to bring up, shoulders or traps or whatever it may be. And those too, they're going to be like, as I go along, okay, this is the weak point, especially maybe like grip strength. That's starting to be a limiting factor in other things. So that's one thing that I'm going to need to be bringing up. So it's literally the thing that's in between you and the thing that you want, that you need to work on. So, and what I'm talking about building a life, like if you're building a house, you're putting all those bricks down day by day. Well, these are just those little bricks on the wall, you know? Okay, the grip strength. Okay, now I've got this problem here, or this thing, this bottleneck, and I need to address that. So it's just a total, people see the finished product with all these successful people and just think that they, you know, the product came that way in a finished stage. But no, this stuff is all micro habits that have to be built up over time. And it's not mysterious, dude. Like, it seems mysterious, but once you realize what's going on, then you know you're on the right path, and you know how to actually get the things that you're after as well too.
Why did that happen?
It's just piece by piece, man. But you have to have a clear vision too. Alright, we're going to take this to our set to failure here. I'd like to do a little bit more weight, but I don't have any smaller weight to add to the stack to make it taller, so, or higher in weight, so we're just going to go with this. Really accentuate the movements.
I start fucking tweaking. I'm like, yo, this is it. I'm about to die. Like everything for every single day for a whole year. Yeah. And it wasn't until I started getting my health in order a little bit. Not this was before 75 hard, but it was like I'd work out for 3-4 days a week. Like it was never full ass where it was a lifestyle change. I was still that fat kid who worked out occasionally, and so that was enough to keep me posting for another 3 years where like I'm not about to break down mentally. And that was it, man. Like that was my life, and so. What really got me started was on a trip to Mexico. We were all chilling with the boys, like we ended up going, this is the prime of COVID. And so we used to go to these resorts that party. Like we were partying from this morning till night, like drinking all day, eating like shit. We get to this resort and no one's on the resort except like a bunch of older people. It's like a chill vibe, it's prime COVID. And we get there and like the changed from being like a party trip to being like an enjoy, let's relax, let's bro, I could walk for 10 fucking minutes without my back flaring up. Like, everything was a difference. All the boys want to do
okay.
all that shit. And
now I've kind of got two opposing views that I'm holding in my head. Is it better to just put a lot of bulky, heavy weight on your chest in lower repetitions? Or is it better to, on the other end of the spectrum, do lower weight and just fucking burn the fuck out? I feel like whenever you've got two extremes like that, the best thing I can do is, well, hell, let's just settle in the middle somewhere. You know, use a heavy weight that I feel like you can get maybe anywhere from 8 to maybe 15 repetitions. 12 I think is more ideal, but if you can find a weight that you're basically failing at like 10, 11, and that 12, like you're really actually pushing yourself at the end, then I think the middle of those two opposing and extreme views is probably the best way to settle. That's how I at least settle the argument in my mind. Alright, so we're going to go over here, pre-exhausted a little bit. We're going to do an incline movement here. To typically be more of a bulking type movement, and I would do it first, but I just kind of want to experiment a little bit with it and stagger it. The progression of these exercises just to see their effects on the chest. So kind of do some experimenting with it, but I want to obviously continue that deep stretch that I'm talking about and that accentuation, that movement. So I'm trying to put that seat up a little bit so I'm in a deeper stretch position and I can just pause out there real good.
A lot about Mike too. Yeah, do that shit. Because that's that's hard to resist.
It is, bro.
You know, when your fucking homies are like, bro, come on. Like, you only live once. Like, bro, you know, all my friends stop saying that shit to me, you know, but
That's definitely getting stretched.
Especially at the beginning when you're just starting out something new. I was like not sure, because you've said it 100 fucking times. No one believes you anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you've said it 100 times.
Yeah.
And so eventually, though, when you've been on your shit for so long, they don't even try anymore. No one even asks, like, bro, when people know I'm on program, they don't even ask me to chill anymore. Like, I'm on the program. That's it, bro. I'm hustling now. So it's crazy. Like, people start respecting you and respecting your word when you start respecting your own.
Bro, exactly, dude. I just wrote about this morning in my fucking post when I was out doing my run. I was talking about how the world will see you as you see you. People think that the world sees you a certain way, and then that's how you are, and then you have to change it. That's not how it works. When you see yourself a certain way, the world respects that and sees you that way as well. And that goes for your habits, your lifestyle, anything that you're trying to work on. And so you create the image that the world accepts.
You're gonna do the same as we did over there with the flies. You're just gonna pyramid up weight as we go up in these warm-up sets. Adding a pre-exhaustion factor, but just making sure we're safely warmed up before we get into that heavy set to failure there.
Be small, live small.
Oh, shit.
And, you know, then they're like, why is my life like this? Well, fuck, bro, because you're not seeing yourself as the way you should be. And if you can't see yourself that way, then you need to build yourself into someone who can see that. And dude, that's the whole game. It's crazy.
Definitely can't wait to get into this. I still got, like I said, another month and a half or 2 months to go.
What were your weight at?
Bro, I think I started out at 350. Yeah.
I'm definitely ready to get into this, you know, bulk phase. I want to throw some compound lifts in there. Feel like my core is sufficiently built back up, or at least good enough to where I can actually withstand a lot of those squats and deadlifts and other compound movement, the weights from them. But I want to throw a lot of more compound and strength building and bulky fucking just hard, heavy movements in there just to put that much more mass on my frame. So I feel like if you put more mass on your frame, then whenever you get ripped, like you're gonna look fucking ripped. Like, you know, they got the argument like, oh, you can do more reps for ripping, and if you do less, then that's for strength. Well, dude, if you're building a big old fucking muscle, whenever you get down to really lean body masses, you're gonna look ripped. So what's the difference? I don't see the difference. So I do like the aspect of just hard, heavy sets that are just building a lot of bulky mass muscle, and not really necessarily always the, you know, lower, higher reps and lower weight type stuff. I don't think it matters once your body fat's down to hardly anything. I don't see how it'd make much of a significant difference at all. Alright. It doesn't make sense to me is what I'm trying to say.
Can I run for 10 minutes? And then, you know, you just slowly punch it until 45 minutes were up. Because every day was a struggle, bro. I'm not, to the point where I had anxiety when I wake up and I'm like, oh my fuck, bro. Everything hurt. You know, everything hurt. Yeah, bro, my shirt is, I had big tits back then, bro. They would move up and down, so my shirt would be rubbing up against my nipple. Yeah. And tearing them up. Yeah, my whole sweater was bloody. My shoes, like my white shoes, got so bloody from blisters, and from my feet swelling up and my toes like crossed over each other, and so they were just scratching. Yeah. The feet was a big thing for me the first fucking time I did it too. Yeah. Like, that feet thing, it took me like 30 days to get through. For sure. It was bad. The first 15 days, if you're not trained for it, it's fucking brutal on the feet. For sure. Yeah, shin splints too, man. Yeah. Shin splints were hectic. Yeah, man, that was like the whole 75 days. But I remember it day 76, so I had a plan that I was gonna do a half marathon. I was gonna do a half marathon on day 76. How great this fucking program is.
Wasn't planning on that being my set to failure, but I don't know. I feel like if I bumped up too much weight, then it was just gonna be too much to keep really focused and keep that accentuation on the chest. So I just went ahead and went into it.
The boss voice that we all have is so fucking weak that like we don't hear it.
Exactly.
You know, like the headphones. Like think about how that sounds.
All right.
It sounds stupid. It sounds
Gonna go over here to dips. Gonna start from the top, work our way down. If you guys have been watching the videos, you know that's kind of the progression of my chest workouts. That being said, just hit a all-out set to failure with dips, kind of for that lower part of the chest. Go into some cable flies, and then do one more set of dips, and then be done. We're trying to still keep it brief and infrequent here. I assume that I'm good and warmed up. Feel pretty good, so let's kind of move into our heavy set to failure over here. A little faster, I'll do at least one warm-up set. If I feel like I need another one, I'll do it, but I don't feel like I am at this point, or will at this point.
People say like, oh, don't lose weight, you're gonna lose your funniness. It's kind of true because, bro, I've been at war for 2 straight years. Like, I'm not as funny as I used to be. Like, that's what it was. But yeah, that's the day 76 when I would run that half marathon. So I woke up.
Give it just a second before this pump wears off. We'll hop back into it.
Today is raining, it's pouring, it's one of the colder days of the year. And day 76,
I definitely
sunny and shit.
I heard somebody say that people are typically fatter than they think they are. And I can definitely attest, whenever I started to make these videos, I thought I was a little slimmer than I actually was. So I kind of underestimated the spring cut and how much work and calories I was actually going to have to knock off. So I had to do definitely some micro adjustments in there and go into it a little deeper of a calorie deficit as I got farther into the cut, just to make sure that it was actually meaningful in about a 4-month period. That being said, if I would have realized how fat I was whenever I started, I probably would have been way more hesitant to start the videos. So basically the delusion helped me in this aspect, because I actually got myself out there and doing it. But I've definitely still got a ways to go. I probably still got, at least to get completely peeled, at least probably 15 pounds to go. At another 15 pounds, and I'll have fucking veins everywhere at that point, I think. So we're gonna keep digging into it, just because this is my first year doing it, kind of doing some trial and error stuff. But we're gonna get down to baseline where our body's actually, this is a good fat level and this is a good muscle level, and this is where you can operate at. Let's figure things out from here. So I'm really trying to get a baseline on my body, just like you would with blood work. They want you to fast for, 24 hours or 12 hours before you go get your blood work, just to make sure they can get a baseline on where you're actually at. And so that's what I'm trying to do with this cutting phase. Is I've been fat for a long time, so I just want to get to a point where it's like, okay, now let's start seeing what all these these foods do to our body, these exercises, the rep ranges, all that stuff. So just getting a finger on the pulse, I feel like, is a really good thing. All right.
Every day right now, I'm still running, you guys do miles here, so 6.2 miles a day, and then working out for an hour. So like, I literally need to fuel my body for peak performance, not to just like spike my dopamine, because bro, that shit never lasts, and you feel like shit right after. So my relationship with food has completely changed, and I don't look at it the same. It's not a source of happiness for me anymore, which is like a wild thing to feel. And so in terms of confidence, and I say this all the time too, because what this program gave me was the confidence I needed. I'm not talking social confidence, like going up to like a girl and saying hi. I'm talking confidence in your own word. Being committed to whatever the fuck you say you're gonna do. Like now I know anything that I say I'm gonna do will 100% get done. Like there's no doubt in my mind. And that's what this program is giving me. It's like confidence in everything. And it's funny, bro, looking back to how I used to run my life, and how you can work.
Actually, kind of just came to me, but now that I'm doing that deeper stretch, I like keeping my volume low in these workouts, because obviously the more volume you have, there's gonna be more of a demand on your body's resources whenever you're in the recovery process. So I like keeping as much of that volume low as I possibly can, and doing these deep stretch warm-ups and really accentuated pauses at the end during that warm-up. I feel like I'm getting activated sooner, and I just kind of noticed it. So that's actually, I can get into my heavier set now faster with less warm-up sets, especially as the exercises in the workout progress. So that's definitely a positive too. Plus you just feel more activated as you're doing the actual movement.
Oh. But I know for sure in the next 3 to 5 years, I would be in a much better place than I was now had I continued on with that shit. Because now I actually add value to people's life. I want to change someone's life. And so when that becomes your focus, I know we say this all the time, when that becomes your focus, everything changes. It's not only promotion too for you. It's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, it's huge, but I think the business aspect that you're talking about is the number one misunderstood thing, especially amongst young people in business. They chase the carrot, they chase the quick fix, they don't run the sale, the things that you're talking about without ever thinking of longevity. And you're going to be doing this for a long time. Your reputation's worth a lot. Like, it's important to build something that actually helps people.
Because we're basically strapped back and we're building a 7-year business back from day one. So yeah, we have taken a hit. It works. It's a hit, you know, like it works. It's a drug. As you put the sale up, you do get higher sales, but over time, not building, you stop responding to it. It does. And then you gotta build bigger sales, bigger sales. And like, you're just shooting yourself in the foot.
And your margin, you can't run the business, and you're done. It's like swirling and then fucking draining back. And eventually you run. That's it.
And bro, we have a good product. It's just a matter of like you're just shooting yourself in the foot at that point. Like, the marketing side of things does not align with the actual work you're putting into the product side. It just doesn't align. And so this is and I'm willing to risk it all for this. Like, if this means this business, I lose what I have. I hope not, bro. But if
bro, how's it going? Are you gonna fucking quit? Are you fucking making sales? Yeah, I mean that's the point, you know. What about the things that we talk about in 75 hard? You know, the grit, the fortitude, the mental toughness, the ability to persevere, all the qualities that we talk about, self-esteem, self-worth. You know, when I was heavy, before I figured out you could actually, because I used to like.
You do kind of
these things, and I was confused.
a little heavier weight
Because I'm like, why the fuck?
on this movement once I get to that point. Do one warm-up set and then get into it.
This guy can follow through, but I can't. So that was the biggest problem for me. Bro.
Need to buy a few more weights just so I can pyramid up kind of correctly with my body. A few more 10-pound weights and a couple more 5s maybe.
Start on Monday.
Because if I'm skipping 10s, that might be comfortable for my body, but if I start skipping up 20 pounds at a time, then you're adding a lot of weight, maybe before your body's ready for it. So I'd like to work maybe my body's more natural rhythm.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on food, and I gained an extra 17 pounds, right?
All right.
Dude, you said something when you were just mentioning.
Let's see how this feels.
Confidence in your word.
Oh yeah.
How that affected your life outside of your business? I mean, what's that? What is that?
What it's done for me is like everything that I commit to now gets done. So even the small things too, which actually can matter in the end of the day. Like, I tell my friends I'm coming home for dinner. I'm not gonna text them and be like, yo, I can't make it. Every little thing in your life becomes your word is your bond going forward. And so that was so super important to me because like honestly, man, we lie to ourselves all the time. We tell ourselves that we're gonna do shit and we never can do it.
Yeah, and that's why our confidence goes to fucking zero, dude. Because we don't do wrong shit.
Don't.
You know, we're like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and you never do any of these things, and we're like, oh, well, I'm gonna lose weight, and you already know that you're gonna come down your fucking mouth, that ain't happening, and you know that everybody else is rolling their eyes like, oh, yeah, okay. You know?
Yeah, imagine you had a friend like that, bro, who every day told you 10 fucking hours. You wouldn't believe him. You wouldn't want to believe him, and that's why you end up hating yourself, bro, eventually. Like, eventually it catches up to you. And for me, like,
I can definitely say that the chest has been one of those movements or body parts that I've had a hard time building over the years. Just hard time getting focused on it. I feel like I'm just now starting to really get the proper techniques in. And, you know, pinching my shoulder blades together on bench, keeping the chest exposed, really pausing at the end of the movement in the stretch position and in the contracted position. And tried doing my way on things for a lot of years when they really weren't paying off, but I was so egotistical that I just couldn't fucking listen to nobody else. My way works, whatever. But now I'm starting to listen to people who've actually got the things that I want. Starting to notice I'm starting to get some different results in my life. And that goes for finances, relationship, fitness, diet, family stuff, all the different areas in life, dude. I've realized if I don't know it in this area, then I probably don't know much of anything in these other areas. And if I don't actually have the things that I'm going after financially, the body, all that stuff, then I probably don't have the knowledge it actually takes to fucking get it. So at this point, that's like, now what? Well, now what would be, I need to get the knowledge that I fucking need that's going to get me there. So turns out you got to look to other people who've actually got it and obtained it. And when you start plugging and playing that type of knowledge, you stop spinning your wheels and start making progress in the real world. All right, we'll bump up some weight here and then.
So for me, I was terrified. Fuck, I don't want to put the shit back on, right? So I kept working.
Yeah, should be good.
And eventually 75 hours. The one I got progress, and that's when I really started to a totally different level. And it's interesting how many people talk about.
All right, we're gonna.
Or challenge. And in reality, it's like a practical tool.
We're gonna take this set as far as we can and call her good on the flies.
Which actually allows your body to be, allows you to have, it allows you to have, gratitude for where you are, because you're proud of who you are. And it's interesting, how many people don't look enough into the program to understand what's really all about. Because it really isn't about the physical. The physical is a representation of winning the mental battles on a daily basis. And when you talk about chasing the hard man, like that win, you got done with your first run, right? Everybody thinks the big win is like when you post your slideshow and it's 75 slides, 200 slides of you losing all this weight. Right? They think that's the win. But the win isn't that. The win is the first time where you're like, I got blisters. You're like, I'm going anyway. You're like, all right, that win, that's the real win. Because those are the ones that allow the And it's interesting that people don't recognize their little wins as the big wins. Because your little wins, they are the big wins. Because without those big wins that happen, people think you just show up.
Drive home one more heavy set of dips. Good, focus, and squeeze. Drop a little bit of weight.
Every single day that either allow us to progress or regress. And there is only two options. There's not a stay still option. There's no fucking neutral.
No. Just fucking pound that one home for as many as I can get, whether it be 5 or 8 or 10 or 12.
Because when you talk about, your mentality when you were big, it's very similar to what you were. It was just very, very similar. I had beaten myself into fucking nothing by promising myself over and over and over and over that I was going to get back in shape. Right. I embarrassed myself to my friends and family. I lied to them about it, right? Like, I'm doing this. Telling Emily this shit, you end up becoming like this fucking thing that you're actually disgusted. And that's where I think you're headed. For real, that's actually it. Yeah, it's actually it. And I'm not gonna lie, because you just said that you don't understand why people think it's why people look at the physical and as a challenge and stuff. But when I started, that was my goal. I was like, I just want to lose some weight. Yeah. But when you realize how much mentally this does to you, you don't give a about the physical anymore.
Alright. Change this camera angle and we're going to do a few sets of calves and we'll call this workout good.
I am pretty skilled as an entrepreneur, and when I finally figured it out, we were doing 9 figures in business, right? But I started realizing, bro, it's not sustainable. These other dudes are good, they're dedicated, they're working harder than me, they try harder than me, and that's whenever it made me realize that, fuck, I have I have to become a permanent better version of myself. It has to be forever. It can't be for a summer, right? Or for a pool party or for a wedding. And I think that was a big shift for me. Like when I realized like it couldn't be, because I used to try to diet for a bit. Like,
Same.
like, oh, we have this big pool party, you know, and I don't want to be fat, so I can kill myself for 6 months. I'll show up, I'm in great shape, I party, and then right after I party, the next day I'm back to my old life because fuck it, dude, I'm in shape now. Right? I'm living it up. And then 7 months go by, and guess what? Right back where I was. And until I cured the shit mentally, I couldn't keep it off.
And you know, another thing that I'm talking about, you got to build for yourself the life that you want. You know, it doesn't come in that finished product, you know, that we all kind of thought that it did. Or at least I know that I thought that it did. And the thing is, like, whenever I started 75 Hard, I did not plan on filming it at all. And so I've been actually holding off until I filmed it. And whenever I just finally hopped in there and started to do it, then I had to sort everything out from in there. I think a lot of the times people don't start a certain endeavor because they want to be perfect starting out beforehand. But the thing is, the only way that you're actually going to get better is if you actually get in there, get feedback, fail, and get feedback, and then you actually know what to fine tune in your process. So that's another thing too, is like you just kind of got to hop in there sometimes and build it from scratch. Build it as you go, piece by piece. Whatever's the thing that's standing in between you and getting to where you want, that's the thing that needs to be worked on. That's the bottleneck in the business or your personal development space, like whatever it is. So it's just kind of another aspect to it.
You guys say you don't need it, but you do. Because here's what's happening. Every single 6th, 7th day, you're feeding your fat face with the same shit that made you miserable, and you're breaking the mental cycle that you're working on and so then it becomes this pursuit of the cheat day, right? Like, oh, I can't wait till Sunday so I can fucking be a normal human. There's nothing normal about eating 15,000 calories and getting drunk off 20 beers on a Sunday, bro. There's nothing normal about it. Normal is understanding that I need to be healthy, I need to be fit, I need to take care of myself, and then committing to that for a long enough time where your habits actually change. I personally believe like this shit that we hear about, oh, it takes 21 days to form a new habit, I think that's bullshit.
It's not long enough.
It's not long enough, dude. It never has been.
I've done 21 days.
Me too. How many times?
So many times.
Me too, bro. It never stops.
It's not long enough. Yeah, that's the thing with this program is that it gives you the momentum you need to put all this shit on autopilot.
Yeah.
Like, bro, as fucked as this sounds, 75 easy part of my life.
Kind of trying to take a little
75
play from the chest movement that we just did. We got deep stretch, pause, and then, you know, in the contracted position, pause too. Trying to take that kind of same theory into the calves here and just kind of pause at the stretch position and at the fully contracted position too. So just to see if I feel like it enhances that movement anymore. I feel like it does just a little bit. I don't feel like I can get as good of a deep stretch while I'm on my feet. If you're straight up and down, that's the stretch. If you're back further, that's the stretch. So I try to keep my feet back a little bit more. I could probably do it on the platform. I got over here so my feet are hanging off, but I feel like I've got to adjust too many times in that movement, and it just takes tension off of the movement, gives me rest, so I just kind of been staying away from it. But we'll put some good heavy weight on here and kind of go into this last set as we're pre-exhausted, and that is definitely going to do it. But, you know, just tweaking my movements and messing and playing with them as I go along here. See if I can get any more out of them. Sometimes you do, and then you go back to the original movement because that works best. So, whatever.
But like, dude, I get it. Like, I see parents with kids, like, that's a hard thing. That's a 24-hour job. I mean, everybody's life is hard, and we have a lot of shit to handle. But the thing is like, when we give ourselves this excuse of no time, I think that's one of the biggest fuck-ups that people make with their life. they say, bro, how am I gonna do this with 2 kids? Or how am I gonna do this with this? Or how am I gonna do this with that? And I would challenge you to flip your question around. Is how the fuck are you gonna do your job? Living like the fuck you live. Eating that shit that you eat. Not putting good things in your brain. Not giving your body the fuel that it needs. Not moving. Not thinking it. Like, how are you going to be effective? How are you going to be an effective? Can you really say you're going to be the best parent if you're not at your best? Real talk. And are you willing to your kids' life up by being a piece of shit because you're lazy? I'm just saying, I wouldn't be. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, versions of ourselves results in life, whether that's business, whether that's a family, whether that's team. And that's something that has become glaringly obvious to me that most people see not to change. Like this, my mind, my heart, my body, these are fucking tools. These are the weapons that we go to battle with every single day. And if we do not have these things in check, guess what? We're fucking lose. And that's reality. And you may think you're winning, you may think you're okay, but I can promise you 10, 20, 30 years from now, you're gonna look back and be like, fuck, for sure. I could wasted my fucking time. And that's something that I'm very thankful is that I figured that out. You know, I didn't figure it out until I was like 38. You know what I'm saying? So like, I know for a lot of you young guys, that sounds old, but like, I don't feel old. You know? I felt old then, and now I'm 43 and I feel way younger than I've ever felt my whole life.
You're gonna do a 45-minute outdoor workout here in just a couple minutes. And then later tonight, 4 hours later at least, minimum, I'm gonna do arms at the gym, maybe some abs, we'll see. Do a little 45-minute workout there. I had somebody say, your garage workouts don't count as an outdoor workout. I'm like, yeah, I know. But the thing is, I just bought an entire gym and there ain't no damn way I'm not filming here, and just doing an outdoor workout, letting the gym go to waste and then going to Planet Fitness and not getting anything on film. So I'll do this and then I'll do an outdoor workout later. Genius. But whatever, dude. So just depending on the day, might do the 45-minute workout in here as the indoor workout. And then another workout outside, or I do 2 workouts for the day in a gym, and then another 45-minute workout. So sometimes I'm hitting a 3 times a day. So today will be that one where I'll be getting 3, and I'll be getting an arm workout and then another one outside. So, all right.
Even just the way that I'm able to take in information is a lot better. And like, especially when I first started 75 hard, like the first books I read were strategic. Like it was designed to brainwash myself into thinking what I was doing wasn't shit. And so like I read books like Goggins' books, Tim Grover's books, even like James Lawrence watching his life with Iron Cowboy. I got lucky to do 75 hard the first round while he was doing Conquer 100, and so I got to wake up every day and see him doing his shit. And it's crazy, man, because you look at people like that who are crazy high achievers, and you're like, bro, you start thinking of them as if they're some divine being, you know, like they're not human. Yeah, but the thing is, they're just regular people, bro. They're just regular people going through their own shit. I'll never forget this day. I looked at one day and James Lawrence posted a video of himself that day doing Conquer 100. Man, and kind of had to tweak my diet as I went along, so I kind of started this. The calories have stayed the same, but I have reduced them over time because I realized I wasn't getting the results. Wasn't going to get the results I was after in this 3 or 4 month period. But the thing is, I did have multiple meals through the day, kind of broke from that, and then just started fasting the entire time until the end of the day. Well, at that point, you're just running on low energy. I was running on energy drinks, dude, so by the end of the day, I'm crashing, and I'm just in a bad attitude, dude. So I've introduced back into the mix after my workouts, very minimal calories after each workout, and I seem to be having enough calories in my body to where I don't just crash. I'm just kind of staying steady through the day. And then my meal at night, actually, I'm not near as hungry because I ate through the day. So I feel like I'm not just fucking ready to get home. So I feel like it's all around been better having a little couple smaller meals through the day just for mentality, dude, because this, if you're fasting and you're doing, heavy calorie deficit, dude,
the dieting aspect will take its toll on you, man. I don't care if you don't think it will. I'm sorry, it's just a chemical thing. If you don't have the calories there and you're depleting them, whenever you feel like shit and your energy's low, you're gonna think low, dude. I'm sorry, it's just gonna affect you, man. And I've started to notice the past week or so since I've been throwing those extra calories in there, not extra, but breaking them up over the day, that my mentality is way more stable and my mood and mindset's way more stable. So, fucking dieting aspect can be no joke. And if you don't know what's going on, then you might be prone to quit. But if you realize like you're bogged down, it's like, dude, I just need some calories. That's what I need. Boom, you fucking get them in, you feel way fucking better, man. But if you don't know what's happening, dude, you just fucking, get negative and just fucking give up. All right, drive this one set to failure home here, and we're gonna call her good.
Perceived comfort zone more and more and more and more to the point where now they are literally limitless. Because for you to believe that you're limitless, you have to continually push yourself outside of the box of what you believe you're capable of enough to know that you are capable, right? So like when you first ran your first workout, like you probably thought, fuck, I don't know if I can do this. And you got home that first day, right? So then you wake up. I did this yesterday. I know I can do it. Because you mentioned the cold plunge. I did this first cold plunge. 6 minutes.
Good.
You doing okay?
I'm fine. I was shivering right now.
Yeah.
Fucking shit gave me goosebumps, dude.
Yeah.
Alright. So guys, that was day 75. Looks like this will be the last day that I get on film for the 75 hard program. We're gonna be back tomorrow filming some kind of leg workout, quads or hamstrings. I don't remember which one it was, which rotation I'm in. That being said, obviously gonna continue the spring cut. I'm not gonna stop making content. This is a thing to stay. And but that being said, I appreciate you guys following along with me, engaging with me in the comments. You guys like the way that I take you through the workouts and just the way, I break them down and everything. I just ask that you would please share, like, and subscribe. I am going to start extending my knowledge to you guys. So I left an email in my About page on my YouTube. So if you guys have any questions for like diet plans or routines or whatever, just email me and I'm here to help. So I really appreciate you guys. And this was day 75 of 75 hard chest and calves. All right, guys, I'll see you.